afternoon, YouTube's man on the George Page, aka the Emperor of WMA Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, I've been kind of slacking on my WMA Talk. My big focus is on women's bodybuilding. I recognize these ladies as similar, in ways, especially, they don't get recognition as much as their male counterparts, money. That's why I respect these women in the sports of combat sports. In combat sports, I might as well say. So anyway, it's the fact that's been talked about by my CS Combat Sports family. Shout out to the man, the coach, Karma Record 99, my buddy, the WME been talking about it. My sister, Tay Brown, even my homeboy, he's a Nunez lover, Gucci 23 has been talking about it, and also Bill BJ at No Filter. So I was thinking, you know what? I should talk about this thing too, because you know what? I do try to do much content on women in MMA, and this fight is kind of interesting, and it's happening in February. It's kind of soon. As you know, we have here Erin, cold-blooded Blanchfield versus Talia Santos, and these two women have been in the game for quite a bit. With Talia, it wasn't that long ago she fought for the title, and Talia's been in the game since around 2013, even longer. She has some fights off the book because she fought a lot in Brazil. There's some fights that we don't know about. And, she's been a champion. She's been, practically undefeated during her career. And Erin, she's been around for a good part, I think, about, she started her game around 2016, 2017 as amateur. And eventually she turned pro. And, she fought for Invicta for a good bit before she got picked up by the UFC. Now, these two women are on a collision course as possible, title contenders. As you know, Talia has fought for the title. She might possibly get a rematch. But it won't happen if she loses to someone like Erin. Erin's give out talk about maybe be the next person for a shot at the title. I think she's number 15 or number 14 on the list. So, as you remember, Talia actually got picked up by the UFC and she did the contender. I think that was back in 2019. And then she made her debut against Mara Barrera. As you remember her, she's the one that she got busted for drug charges. And a great question, man, coach, she's saying, how'd she beat that case? I mean, tell me, how'd she beat that case? And the fight, Mara won by a split decision. And I mean, that was, some people lost surprise, but I think because maybe it was early in Ty's career and just that, she did enough. But hey, this is always thing. It's always it could be a win or it could be a yard and a mile. A fight is very close. And Erin, she was Invicta for a good while. She fought there, I think, as a 125er. And eventually she got picked up like almost 2 years ago. And she made her debut with a lady who I've become friendly with, the lovely Miss Sarah Too Sweet Alpart. And she beat Sarah. And next you know, this is when Sarah got cut, which is unfair to me. Sarah could at least got maybe another fight in her career before they cut her, or even put her at 135. I think she's more comfortable at 135. That's where she fights at. And, and with Talia, she beat the people like Jillian Robinson, who was one of the first women who started in the flyweight division, and when it did tough. And you also had Erin. She beat someone like herself, Miranda Maverick, who's kind of been slipping lately. Because, like I said, my man, the coach says she's been getting too much of the tip. But there was one person that was on the tier. Both opponents both shared. That was Molly Meatball McCann, and Molly was pretty much on I think, practically 2 or 3 fight winning streak, and possibly maybe a contender for the title down the line. But she lost one of her early career. She lost a fight against Talia Santos. And then, that was, I think, something that probably got her to get on her game with that loss against Talia. But then she got submitted by Erin Blanchfield. And I think it really hurts her. I remember seeing her doing an interview. You can tell that she was really hurt by it. She was practically crying during the interview, And, Talia's impressive. Like I said, physically impressive. She's a good fighter, strong ground game, a lot of strength. I mean, I got to give respect for that. And like I said, Erin, she just, has that look that they like about her. She's got that all-American girl look. And she also has great potential. It wasn't that long ago that Talia fought for the title against the Bullet. And I'm a big Bullet fan. I'm a Bullet simp. I'll admit that. And you got Pavel here. Pavel has a plan. And truthfully, this was probably one of the toughest fights next to her fights against Amanda Nunes that, Valentina had. I mean, I'll tell you the truth. Talia really took a little shine off of Valentina, made it a little more human. But still, we all know what happened. Talia lost. Even though it's a close fight, she still lost. And Valentina, she's the queen of the division. She sits on the throne on high. She wears a crowd with a heavy brown. But now she's looking for an opponent because everybody knows that Valentina doesn't want to sit out for too long. So she calls out Alexa Grasso. Alexa Grasso, who just fought for a while back a 5 round fight against Viviana Ruggio. And she won the fight by unanimous decision. I mean, she put up a good performance. Just barely the fact is that Talia had better foot and hand speed, better compared to Vivi. Vivi, just like I said, one thing about Viviana, she's strong, but her gas tank is one of her biggest faults. And another opponent that both Alexa and Talia fought against was Joanna Calderwood. Talia fought Joanna Calderwood when she still was Joanna Calderwood, but uh, Alexa fought her, as Joanna Wood when she submitted her. So they both fought a traditional opponent. But it's true for the debate says that Erin is somebody who has great opportunity. But the thing is, she needs to do something. Instead of this fight, I wouldn't suggest this fight for her. I think she should fight against Tracy Cortez. See, Tracy Cortez beat Erin back in Invicta. That's a few years ago. And I think that's the only O she has on her record is against Tracy Cortez. And Cortez herself is practically on a 3 to 4 fight winning streak. Now, she supposed to fought Amanda Hebus about a month or so ago, but because of some situation, I think she has an injury, something she had to pull out of that fight. And some say that fight's not going to happen for whatever reason. But I think the fight between Erin Blanchfield and Tracy Cortez would probably be a little better. But how about this person who we haven't seen in a while? That's Sarge Usbank. Like Sarge is one of the women who started into the flyweight division. Now, at one point she did fight in Battleweight for a minute, but tried to issue dealing with her weight issues. And Sarge is a game opponent. I remember she even wanted to fight Valentina when they couldn't find her opponent. But I got respect for Sarge. And also we got Manon Ferriot. Manon, she's also a hot commodity. I think better fight would probably maybe a good test for Erin Blanchfield or even Talia is maybe Ferriot. And she has some difficulties. Like her last couple of fights, she kind of struggled. Marlboro Silva was a struggle for her, and also Jennifer Maya was a struggle. And then it wasn't that long ago. I think this a little bit. A few months ago, she fought against Katie Chichakian, who fought for the title, who was one time a number one contender. And that fight was a close fight. I think she won barely by a hair, by a split decision. But right now we're hearing that Ferriot might have an injury. She might be out for a while. So, who's the fantasy that has to fight? But like I say, Erin Blanchfield, she has a lot of potential. She's still young, just in her mid-20s. Like I said, she has been running her mouth about Valentina, but she has to prove herself. But like I said, in her last couple of fights, she has proven herself. She has good ground game. Her stand-up game is so-so. But Talia, she's strong. She's strong BJJ. Her stand-up is kind of so-so too. But I think she can put up a good fight. I think she might be the one to give Blanchfield her first O in the UFC. But the thing is, Talia is compromised. As you know, the fight with Valentina, she has that cracked orbital bone, and she hadn't gotten surgery, and I don't think it's fully healed. It's been barely, I think, 7 months. I think 7 months since her fight against Valentina. And if that orbital bone can be struck and hit right way, I think the fight would end. And I would put Talia out of her shot for a rematch against Valentina. But like I said, this one person, I just want to mention this one person. I know my man BJ will want me to mention her, Princess Casey. She's out with a issue with her knee. I think she's thinking about going to 115. Well, goodbye, Princess Casey. We don't want you in 125. But anyway, these are two impressive young women. I think they have a possible, either one of them are going to be the next opponent for Valentina. Maybe Erin, maybe a little down the line. And in this fight, if Talia put on a good performance, a dominant performance, she should get the immediate rematch. She should get a rematch anyway because of the fight she put against Valentina. But we all know the UFC is kind of protective with their fighters and their commodities. And like I said, Talia's not as popular as some of the other fighters. But Erin is because she fits that ideology of what they say. She's a white female, young, attractive. And, they're going to push for her more than they would push for Talia. it's a double standard in UFC. If you fit their ideology, they're gonna give you more opportunities than one anybody else. It's a lot harder for, especially if you're a black woman in the UFC. It's a lot harder for you. And technically, Talia, even though she's Brazilian, she's still black. And like I said, I don't know. I'm feeling like this fight is a little too soon for Talia. I mean, she needs to get that overblown chance to really heal. I know she won't get the surgery because it takes longer, but the surgery would be better for her. And even though if she does fight Valentina, if I think she's still kind of compromised because Valentina knows how to target a person's weakness. But like I said, this fight's coming up in February. And so, like I said, it's still a little too soon for me for Talia. I think Erin Blanchfield should fight somebody maybe like Amanda Hebus. Amanda Hebus was supposed to fight Tracy Cortez, but that fight was called off because of issues with Tracy Cortez. Or maybe when Tracy gets fully healed, maybe that rematch with her and Tracy to get that to get back that loss she took for that she lost. But anyway, like I said, folks, I'm still learning much about MMA. I still try to pay as much as I do, but that's why I'm doing this video because the fact is, everyone else is talking about it. And if I don't talk about it, then I'm just not a man about who does content on WMMA. Anyway, this is Man on Rachel's page, aka the Emperor of WWE Talk. Don't like, subscribe. I'm out.